Well, thank you all for having me here. The one thing that Sean forgot to mention is that I actually work for you guys, so thank you. I am a county department, and so I work all year round to plan the county fair. Everybody says, my least favorite question during the fair is, so what are you going to do next week? After the fair's all over, and it's like, I still have a lot to do. We have reports that have to get into the state within 30 days. We're state aided, and so we have things that have to get done. And then I start right away on September 1st planning next year's fair. So I'm not in every day during the winter, but I'm in about 3 days a week, and we work all year round to plan the total event. So, but again, thank you. I work for you guys, so I like to hear your input. If you have something, a comment about the fair that, something you'd like to see changed or corrected, tell me. Because that's the only way it's going to get corrected. If you tell, 10 neighbors, that doesn't help me, because I never hear it then. If you like something good about our fair, go tell your 10 neighbors that. That's what I want you to tell the 10 people that stuff. You tell me the stuff you'd like changed. So yeah, as Sean said, this is my 20th fair. I think I started when I was 12. So, but I really enjoyed it. My previous job, I worked for 16 years, and I said when I left that job, I said, I am never going to work for anybody for that many years. There's too many wonderful people to meet and things, and now I'm already at my 20th fair, but whatever. I really enjoy it. It's a great experience. And what I like, I think, most about it is when you watch the news at night, it's totally depressing. Somebody got shot here, somebody's missing here, this crashed, whatever. There's nothing, new, exciting and entertaining. We want to do what your organization does as well. You do good things for the community and for the kids and all that. And that's basically what the fair is. It's a good place for family fun and for the kids to show their creativity or show their animals or whatever. So I like it because it's still a good activity for everybody to come to. So I do appreciate that, and that we are continue to be county funded, which makes it a lot easier for all of us to attend it. So just a little bit of trivia. Excuse me. The first fair was held in Prescott in 1859. I don't know if anybody knew that or remembers that. I remember that. Maybe knew that. Don't really remember that. But that does surprise a lot of people because Prescott was the county seat at that time. And the Agricultural Society bought it or moved it to Ellsworth in 1884, and it's been at the same location ever since. So it is our 135th fair in Ellsworth. Actually, it's a little bit longer than that. When you count exactly back to 1859, but it was owned by the Ag Society until 1942. At that time, they sold it to the county, and the county has been in charge of it ever since. So that's how come it's a county-funded department, and it's been run like that ever since. We have at the fair, we try to do slight improvements every year that maybe you don't know. Everybody always says, what's new at the fair this year? And it's like, well, we don't really have anything new, but we try to improve things. So we are improving by adding more backed benches. Everybody loves our grounds because of the trees, and so we want to make enough seating for everybody. And so Matt and his crew, over the last 2 years, we built 170 new backed benches. Wow. So you can't find a place to sit at our fairgrounds that, we are crowded, but we do like that we have a lot of backed benches now. We used to have the benches that didn't have backs, and I think one of the benches was sponsored in like 1955. We figured back. So we've given them back to the families that sponsored them, which the families just absolutely love that. And now we're going with more backed benches. We always add on more picnic tables as well, so everybody has adequate places to sit. We have a few new things, not new things, but additional things that we're bringing back. River Falls FFA is sponsoring the corn box, so it's like a sandbox, but it's a corn box for the little kids to play in. They absolutely love it, and we appreciate the help from the River Falls FFA on that. I'd like to mention that Wisconsin Credit Union is a great sponsor of the fair for us. They're helping us sponsor the Fantasy Corral Animal Exhibit. That's where you get to see all the different unusual animals that aren't in our regular barn, so we do appreciate their support on that. BMO Harris and First National Bank helps by helping us sell ride tickets in advance and season tickets in advance. Excuse me. So if you don't have your season pass for the fair, stop at one of those two banks and they can help you out with that. It's $12 in advance, get you in all 4 days of the fair instead of paying the $5 daily admission. So it is a savings. The ride tickets are good for Thursday and Friday. It's 5 tickets for $10. That's by far your cheapest way to buy the rides for the carnival. So if you have kids, grandkids, anything like that, buy them ahead of time at one of those two establishments, and then you're all set to come to the fair. We do a lot of recognition programs during the fair. On Friday, I do the Most Admired Senior Citizen. This year we have a couple that's going to be recognized. It's for their volunteer service throughout the year. I did this because I started this program probably when I started back in 2004, being the coordinator before I was just in the fair office. I was trying to teach my children that if you volunteer, you don't expect something in return, you know? And so I was trying to teach them that, and there was a lot of good examples of older people that were helping. So I decided, well, they need to be recognized because we're kind of losing that. It seems like in the youth today that they're busy with everything else, but they don't take time to volunteer. And I appreciate that the schools are, requiring some of the kids to have X number of hours of community service. And so we do a recognition of Most Admired Senior Citizens. So it could, in the future, if you guys have any from the Kiwanis that need to be recognized, just fill out the little application and send it my way. We would like that. That's a great way to recognize maybe one of your volunteers that have gone up above and beyond, that has, fulfilled that volunteering. I do Century Farmer as well at the State Fair, which corresponds right with our fair, so I never get to the Wisconsin State Fair. They have the Century Farmer. We try to recognize farmers from Pierce County that have had continuous farm ownership for over 100 years. Well, this year we're recognizing 1 farm for 100 years and 4 farms for 150 years of family farm ownership. So that's really an accomplishment because all of our, it seems like we're losing a lot of farms. That's really great that it's staying in the family farm name. So that's always a nice one. On Friday, we have our Senior Citizen Day, which is a $2 admission for our 62 and better folks that are coming out to see us. Try to give them a little bit of discount to encourage them to come out. And so that's on Friday. And on Sunday, we do a free Veterans Day. So if you're a veteran or know a relative that is a veteran, please tell them to come on out to the fair. They get free admission for the day for the veteran. Active or inactive or retired or whatever. We do a little bit of a little program about 11:30 in the picnic shelter. Some of our entertainment this year is a favorite from, kind of this area as well as Colleen Ray, her family. It's going to be friends and family and previous members of Tradewinds, Tradewinds, an old band from years ago. Is it Tradewinds?
Tradewinds.
All right, there. Yeah, so they're coming back. We do have a group coming on Friday night. It's an a cappella group called Six Appeal. It's a group of 6 guys. They sing a cappella. The interesting thing about them is I saw them January at our annual convention in the Wisconsin Dells, and I went, I think Pierce County would like them because we see a lot. We see everything from hard rock to, whatever, to country, whatever, and I don't try to choose what I like. I try to choose what everybody else likes because I never get to see it anyway. And I thought, well, they're really entertaining. To me, it's kind of amazing as how they could make it sound like they have drums and, everything just with their mouths. It's pretty entertaining. They just won over in Moscow. They were invited to the International a cappella contest, and they won like $1 million and some rubles, which equates to over $100,000 in prize money. Mm. And I had an a cappella group probably about 4 years ago. It was called Home Free. And I think they won, it was like America's Got Talent or one of them. They won one of those shows like that, or You Think You Can Sing or something like that. And from the price when I booked them to when they won that, it quadrupled in price. So I'm actually kind of glad that I got Six Appeal this year because I'm sure their price just quadrupled because they are now all over. You can see them all over. So come out and see that on Friday night. Saturday night is the Memories. They are always a favorite. It's kind of hard to determine what kind of entertainment I have, because if I don't have certain groups back, I get those people telling me, why did you have them back? And then if I have them, so you kind of never know what to do. But they're really a good group, and we like that. As always, in the grandstand, we have all of our activities going on. Thursday night is the garden tractor pull. Friday night is the truck and tractor pull. Saturday night is the demo derby, and Sunday is the horse and pony pull. So there is something to do all the time at our fair. We'd like you to come on out. I did choose the theme this year of the all-county reunion. That is our theme this year. Sometimes it gets known as we get a call, when is the Ellsworth Fair? And I'm not from Ellsworth, so maybe that's how come I take it a little bit more personally. And I always say, it's not the Ellsworth Fair, it's the Pierce County Fair. It's for everybody. So everybody from your end of the county to when I used to live in Elmwood, we're all together in this, and it's for everybody's, enjoyment. So come on out, tell your friends and family, but before I go, I do have a couple trivia questions. I want you to tell me what I am. I was invented in 1897. I was invented by a dentist, William Morrison. I made my first appearance in 1904 at the World's Fair. Kids love me, but adults do too. Anybody have any idea? I melt in your mouth? Oh, it's a fair-related thing. Come on, you guys. And does anybody know what its first name was? Anybody guess? It was invented by a dentist. Any dentists?
Flossing.
Oh, close. We're getting close. Fairy floss.
Very
A dentist with all that sugar?
Yeah.
He had an ulterior motive.
That's right.
It's very close.
Fairy floss was its original name. And the last one, Carl and Nell Fletcher laid claim to inventing this. They introduced it at the Texas State Fair sometime between 1938 and 1942. The Minnesota State Fair vendors state claim to it, inventing it in 1941. I sometimes have two different names.
Corn dog and Pronto Pup.
Corn dog and Pronto Pup, very good. Yes. So does anybody have any questions for me about the fair?
You gonna have Ellsworth cheese curds there somewhere?
Yes. We have two stands that have cheese curds. I don't know if they're Ellsworth cheese curds. I'm assuming they are. I don't know.
Yeah.
The River Falls Knights of Columbus, Bridget's has a stand right across from the Seifert building. And then over one row by Machinery Hill, KNC Concessions has cheese curds as well. We do have one new food stand this year. Katie got incredibly busy with everything she has going on, so she is no longer doing the food stand at the fair. Nate's Plates from New Richmond is the new food vendor, and they're going to be doing like barbecued ribs and like bacon on a stick and stuff like that, barbecued pork sandwiches, things of that nature. So we're really excited to have them at the fair as well.
I saw the logo for Nate's Plates, and it took me a few minutes. It looks like a license plate. It's N8,
Small s,
small s,
PL8S. Nate's
Nate's
Plates.
Plates.
Nate's Plates.
Nate's
And that's how
Plates.
it'll be advertised, as Nate's Plates, but it's the 8s in there.
It's in there. It's
Yeah.
cute.
Yep. So, yes,
What's the average attendance at?
the average attendance is just right around 40,000.
Oh, wow.
Either a little bit above, a little bit below, depending on the weather. Tell me what the weather will be, and I'll be able to tell you exactly if it'll be over or under that. So it is 40,000, and that's based off of actual hard ticket sales.
Has that been pretty consistent?
It's been very consistent, yeah. And it's very consistent. So the bad weather, I mean, it fluctuates maybe 1,000 here, 1,000 there, but I mean, it doesn't, go,
You
5.
haven't been losing like some players have.
No, we're staying pretty consistent. Yep.
How many years ago was that the storm went through? Remember that?
Well, which one would you like me to talk about? We had
2009.
2009, we had 4.5 inches in 45 minutes.
Monday, Tuesday.
Yep. And we were flooded up to our waist because we went down to get the little animals out of the fantasy corral because those little goats, and I'm not exaggerating on this, the little goats had just their mouth out about this much. And we just, I had to scoop them out and just carry, they were that close. It came
The
back.
parking lot was like I was there that night, and the
Yeah.
parking lot was like a river. And the
It
river
was
was like a rushing river.
Right, it was horrible. And then we had bad weather in 10, we had a storm one, like 15. Well, we had a storm the night before the fair opened in 15, and knocked down all our tents. Trees down, tents down, power poles down, garbage cans 3 blocks away, but you know what, you just go on and do it. That's the hardest part of the whole job, is we can't predict the weather, because if we could, we could plan for all that. So, everything you had pre-set up was gone, it was somewhere else, but, so Mother Nature likes to play a little bit of havoc with us. I know in 15 it was incredibly hot, because Kenny Hines used to be our groundskeeper, and he passed away in February of 15. And the last time I went to see Kenny, I said, Kenny, whatever you do for me, I said, please, in heaven, just give me 4 nice sunny days. Those of you that know Kenny Hines,
Yeah.
it was like 98 and 96 and about 100, and it was like, yeah, thanks, Kenny. I mean, like, nice weather or not, yes.
I think one of the neatest improvements you've made is the beautiful flowers and the decor around the fairgrounds.
Our new groundskeeper, Matt Kelly, does a fabulous job. He's just a younger version of Kenny, and he loves coleus plants. And he starts every fall, he'll go around and he'll snip off a leaf off of all the coleus plants, takes cuttings, and he starts out with about 300 plants in the fall, and he grows them all winter long, and by spring he has 900 plants. So we put out about 900 coleus plants throughout the whole fairground. So we've added flower boxes to our barns. We have flowers, or coleus plants all over the grounds. But he raises them all winter long. Yep. So he's the one that was about the back benches and stuff, and wanted to really improve that. So, and then a couple years ago we did the bathroom improvements. So if you haven't been there lately, and our bathrooms are really nice now, as much as they can be for an outdoor event. But I mean, they're very, very nice, and so nice improvements that we notice. We just hope it makes your experience better. So, any other questions for me? I don't know how much time it's taken. Okay. Anybody else got a
I just have a
question?
quick random question
Yes.
for a coworker. She wants to know if you're selling bunny rabbits at the fair this year.
I cannot sell animals at the fair.
Okay.
I mean, you're not talking about the auction, you're just like in,
Yes,
like
if somebody, she said she heard that people can buy baby rabbits at the fair.
La, 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 la.
Okay. I was kind of thinking that, yeah.
Every animal that comes to our fairground has to be vet inspected. Yes, we have had to kindly ask people to leave with their pets and their bunnies and their puppies, and no, you can't do that, no, because we don't know where they came from. Sometimes there will be a sign in the bunny barn that will say bunnies for sale, but the little bunnies better not be below that sign, or somebody needs to come find me, because it's a health, if our state vet inspector comes through, he can shut down our fair, and when he says, your fair shut down, your fair shut down. No, so no, I hope not, no. Yeah, because we've had to get rid of cats and dogs and our grounds are, we only allow service animals onto the grounds during the fair. You can't bring your pet. It's not a pet-friendly atmosphere, because we have all these other animals that have to be vet checked. We don't know what those other animals are coming in. I just started that years ago. Whoops, sorry about that. When one year I've had to have rats leave the fairgrounds because people had them on their shoulders. A snake, an iguana. And I don't like any of those. So it's just like, nope, sorry, not a service animal. They come onto the ground, but yeah. So everybody's pet is different. Your pet may be different than my pet, but so no pets unless they're service animals. It's just a health issue. So. All right, well, thank you all. And.